I have.
All right, guys, we're live.
35.
Channel Commander.
34. Don't count Eric. He's a 10.
Oh, yep. $34 drivers, you're correct.
I just heard the channel commander on the feed on YouTube, just so you know.
Welcome, race fans, to another DRTV presentation of Sim Racing Television. Tonight, we're out here with Afterburner Motorsports, running at Michigan International Speedway, specifically running a memorial race for the number 10 of Brian Freeman. Got a lot of guys out here that have raced with Brian in the past, some friends, family, and competitors from Afterburner Motorsports that have known him for a long time. They're putting on a memorial race here for Brian, and DRTV has the pleasure of broadcasting this for all the race fans out there. Up in the booth, we're going to have Rich Pat and myself up here tonight, along with Todd Stanton and Phil Lacasse. And as an extra add-on, after a couple laps get into the race, we're going to drag up one of Afterburner's owns, Eric Mueller, who also is going to help us out in the booth tonight. And that way get some good feedback from him as well for some of these drivers. So I hear that qualifying is now done. Cars are getting out on the track to run out happy hour. So let's see if we can't kick this off. Todd, Phil, what do you guys think we're getting into tonight?
Well, thank you very much, Rich. Great field of cars here out at Afterburner Motorsports. We're honored to be here representing DRTV for the Brian Freeman Memorial Race. And we had a really, really great field on for a great cause this evening. And the track looks really fast here in qualifying. I mean, big times on the board. And Todd, I mean, things look lightning fast tonight. What do you think, dude?
They're really fast, really fast there, Phil. They've put up some amazing lap times throughout the whole field. 36-second bracket. That's nothing to look down upon. 37s. I mean, these guys are real close in times. They're gonna put on a whale of a show for Brian Freeman.
As you see on your screen, we got some qualifying times up here from the qualifying session. Pole speed set by the 62. Mill, he's come in at 36.810. Jeffrey Elliott, the 56 on the outside pole, with a 36.848. Julian Wilson, the 029, 36.918. That's your top three. Darrell Pace, the 47 car this evening, he'll clock in fourth for the 36.941. And rounding out your top five, Starman, Charles Copeland, he clocks in at 36.995. Top five cars, all in the 36-second bracket, Todd. I mean, that's an impressive speed around this 2-mile facility.
It is indeed an impressive speed, but also in the 37-second bracket, just a hair out of the 36. Michael Blake in the number 8.
Watching on the background of behind your standings right now, we're watching the number 10. That's actually Brian Freeman's car. His crew have made it out to the track for this memorial race. The car will not be in the race, but it will be making some parade laps around here. And one of our own announcers who's joining us tonight, Eric Mueller, is going to be in that car in the beginning. Once he gets out of that car, he'll join us up here in the booth. But good to see that Jack Daniels number 10 car out on the track with these guys. I'm sure they're all paying respect to him as they go around him and honoring him.
Well, Rich, we got a lot of fast speeds here. Let's see if we can't get a word with our pole sitter here for the Brian Freeman Memorial. The 62 car showing up on your screen. 62 is Milt Surratt. Milt, it's Rich, Todd, Phil, and Eric in the booth. You got a copy, my friend?
Yes, I do. How you doing?
We're doing great, bud. Fantastic lap out there tonight. 36.810 on this 2-mile Michigan International Speedway. Tell us about your lap.
Well, I kind of took it easy on the first lap to just kind of get the tires warm, and the rest of it was just hanging it out as far as I could, go low in the corner, and rotate up into the wall, and it worked.
Fantastic lap there, partner. We're here for a great cause tonight, the Brian Freeman Memorial Race here. I know you're a member of Afterburner. You're good friends with Brian. Got a few words to say about your old friend?
Yeah, I'm lucky to have met Brian about 2005 or 6. We all went up to at that time we were racing for another league, but we went to a big get-together, had a great dinner, and met Brian and his wife Lori and his brother Todd and a bunch of other people, and I'll never forget that day. He's such a nice guy. We're going to miss him so much.
Well, as we all will, the sim racing community definitely lost a great one in Brian Freeman. Milt, in their slot racer tonight, the 62 car on the pole. Good luck this evening, and hopefully you'll take the checkered flag home for your friend. So good luck this evening, bud.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, Rich, Todd, Eric, there you have it. Slot racer, Milt Surratt, the number 62 car. He's your pole sitter, huh? Rich, what are you seeing out there as far as happy hour times?
I'm keeping my eyes on the cameras here, watching some of these cars get around. Not really paying too much against times. I'm not sure if Todd is watching those down there. Just trying to keep up with all these cars out here. This is a pretty big field. I think we're pushing 34 cars plus right now. Should be a pretty big event here in Michigan.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of these cars, Rich, turning about the 36 second bracket. They're not quite 37 second. Looks a lot like these guys are actually running about 36.8. So right around the qualifying speed. I don't think if they've had any qualifying or any drafting help out there yet. I'm not sure if that plays into a factor, but I believe Phil's got the second place qualifier down there with him.
Indeed, Todd. We're going to get here with the 56 car, Jeffrey Elliott. Jeffrey, it's Rich and Todd in the booth. Got a copy. And Jeffrey Elliott, outside pole sitter, 56 car. It's Rich, Phil, and Todd in the booth. We have a copy, friend. All right, little radio communication issues there. We'll try to get him here in a few seconds. So, guys, what do you think we got going on here the rest of the evening?
Yeah, it looks like the 56 might have stepped away, and it also looks like we may be going to grid. So let's go ahead and see what's going on as these cars get lined up out on the track. I think that's enough for the pre-race interviews. This show's about to get rolling. What do you guys think?
Now, looking at the times here during happy hour, I count the top 26 cars separated within about 3 or 4 tenths of a second. Anywhere from a 36.8 down to a 37.3. That separates the top 20. So I can think this draft is really going to pay a big dividend here tonight. You're going to have to stay in the draft. Going to have to hit your stuff on pit road. 60-lap race here tonight for the Brian Freeman Memorial Race here at Afterburner Motorsports. And we're on the grid, and we're waiting for the command to fire engines.
10-4, as we see these cars lined up, we've got the Jack Daniels number 10 Chevrolet sitting in the back of the field. Our own Eric Mueller going to be joining us in the broadcast booth a little bit later tonight. He's going to take this car around the track, couple laps, let everybody get a good look at it before they get underway and green flag racing. So should be rolling here soon. I just heard them start up their engines, and as these cars get rolling, we're going to kind of keep our eye on the number 10.
So the cars have rolled off the grid. 60 laps the distance tonight for the Brian Freeman Memorial here at Afterburner Motorsports here on DRTV. So, with that being said, Todd, let's take a look at our starting lineup.
Yeah, starting on the pole is the number 62, that's Slot Racer. His dancing partner to the outside in that second starting position is the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. Inside row number 2, starting in the third starting position will be the 029. Outside of him will be the number 47 of Daryl Pace.
Inside row number 3 is the 93, that's Charles Copeland, Starman. On the outside of row number 3, the 81, Michael Blake. We'll get a word we hear with Michael here shortly. He's going to be our in-race reporter for the evening. Inside row 4, the 52 of Jeff Prutzman, and the outside is a 15, Scott.
Inside row number 5, starting in the ninth starting position, that's number 16 of Skip. His dancing partner to the outside, that's number 6 of Jeff Bond. Inside row number 6, that's the number 48, that's Ron Dean. And outside of him will be the number 26, that's Jimmer.
13th starting position, the 67 of Steve Little. Outside is a 09. It just says Lamb. We'll call him Lamb. 15th starter, the 137 of Jed. 16th starter, the 33 of Tallman.
Starting in that 17th starting position, that's the 88, that's Hammer. Outside of him is the number 89, that's Tracy Anders. Inside, row number 10, starting in that 19th starting position, that's number 37, that's Dan Rydall. Outside of him is the number 87, that's Dwight York.
As a 10 pulls off the track, 10 pulled off the track, it looks like the cars are still making their parade lap. We may go one more time around.
'21st starting position, we have the 3 car. That's the Intimidator. 22nd starter, the 17 of Gary Hamill. 23rd starter, the 710 Manny Diaz. The 24th starter on the outside of row 12, that's the 22 car of Shortman.
25th starter is the number 94, that's Mike W. Outside of him is the number 18 of Ray. Inside, I believe this is going to be row 14. The number 63, that's E. Sullivan. Outside of him will be the number 40 of Fisher.
29th starter, the 61, that's Stephen Wright. 9 car, 30th starter, that's Chris Elliott. 31st starter on the grid, the 77 of Kevin Roy. The 07, that's Danzler in the 07. Stanley will be the 33rd position here in the 05. And Jarek, that's McAllister, he's in the 0 car, starting 34th. That's your field here, the 60-lap memorial race for Brian Freeman Memorial. Rich, great field, great event. I know we're honored at DRTV to have it, and can't wait to get this thing underway.
Yeah, most definitely. As they're taking their final parade lap, I believe the reason why they did this was to let the number 10 car have its time out on the track one last moment. As we see now, the specially painted Camaro pace car still has lights off. They're still circling the track. It looks like once those lights go out, we're going to get this thing under green flag. Lights still remain on. It looks like they're going to go one more lap possibly and get these cars all lined up and get ready to go green. So I think we're in for a good show. We're looking at 60 laps tonight at Michigan International Speedway. This is a memorial race for the number 10 of Brian Freeman. As you all know, we have recently lost him. And of course, you know, DRTV sends their condolences to the family and so forth. So once we get this thing green, I think we're in for a good show.
Absolutely 10-4, agree there, Rich. Get ready to rock and roll here. Looks like there were some issues here. The 62 car, who is our pole sitter, I see him rolling around under yellow in the 5th starting position. So we'll reset the field here as we get ready to go.
Yeah, it looks like the 16 has pulled it down into the pits. I'm not sure if he's having some car issues or what's going on. I know he was blinking out on the screen. Unfortunately, with this online racing stuff, sometimes internet connections, storms throughout the United States have an effect on people. So we just going to have to wait and see what happens with the 62, if he's able to get that thing back under control and back out on the track or not.
So we're joined by our broadcast partner, Eric Mueller, up here in the booth. Eric, you were out there to take a few laps with these guys. I don't know if you took any hot laps during happy hour, but tell us all about the setup. How's the car feeling out there?
Well, I did take a couple of hot laps during happy hour, and it was a little bit of a surreal experience driving Brian's car, very honestly. But Brian was a great guy, but setup-wise, you're going to have a really loose condition for most of these drivers, probably the first 1 to 2 laps once the tires get up to temperature. Lap times we saw during qualifying get to that 37, very low end of the 37s. Some of the practice speeds earlier in the afternoon during the original opening practice were in the 36, high 36.8s. So lap times are going to be consistent in the draft around 36.9, 37 flat. They're going to fall off about a second and a half throughout the run. 23 lap pit window with the setup. Fuel mileage may take it to lap 25. You might have a few people that think this can go green from here. Of course, we do have a mandatory caution coming up at lap 10, but from that standpoint, it's very possible that we could go green the rest of the way if everybody minds their P's and Q's. But the setup's a little loose to start. It'll tighten up as they go.
No, absolutely, Eric. I think we're in for a great race here with the setup we got here, and the fuel window looks like we could be right on the outside edge of it. So while we got him in here in the yellow while we're waiting to get underway here, let's get our in-race reporter for the night. He's driving an 81 car. That's Michael Blake. Michael, what's Eric, Rich, Todd, and Philip in the booth? Got a copy?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Michael, thanks for being our in-race reporter this evening. A new feature here we're trying out here this evening on DRTV for Brian Freeman Memorial here. Looks like you're going to restart here about the 5th position when we take the green flag. I mean, what's your strategy going out there tonight?
I'm just going to ride around trying to stay out of trouble and see if I can get some of these guys in a long run. So tonight's about Brian. Didn't know him all that well, but I raced with him a few times and he's a really good guy. So tonight's all about him. And if I can put the car in victory lane, it'll be for him.
Absolutely. The reason we're all here tonight to honor Brian Freeman, a member here of Afterburner Motorsports, and a great field of cars here. The track is lightning fast. Michael, I know we're about to get the 1-to-go signal here, so we'll pull you down, put you back down where you need to be to communicate, and we'll get you back up in a little bit. Good luck the rest of the evening.
Thanks, guys.
All right, it's Michael Blake, our in-race reporter. He's going to roll off in the 5th position here in the 81. And Todd, I think we're almost about ready to go here.
Yeah, pace lights are out on that pace car. Looks like Jeffrey Elliott's going to bring him down to get the initial green flag of this race. Julian Wilson going to be 2nd. 3rd, Darrell Pace. Starman's 4th. 5th is going to be Michael Blake, our in-race reporter. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, what the setup issues are going to be, who's going to be the fuel mileage captain. If we go green flag, I've heard none other than Jeff Bond is one of the fuel mileage guys, but we'll have to see. Don't normally race with a lot of these guys out there on the speedway. I do personally know Jeff Bond, but there's a lot of other hungry guys out there to win this Brian Freeman Memorial race.
Yeah, like you said, I haven't raced with a lot of these guys out in this community. I know Eric has, and I'm sure Eric can say a few words about a lot of these guys. I know personally, we know Jeff Bond is always out there conserving fuel, the king of clutching, as I call him, and also the guy that's going to restart in the 3rd position, the 47, Darrell Pace. I mean, we've seen him last night on DRTV. He's always up near the front of a field, and I can't imagine that Darrell's not going to know his way around this joint. He's a very clean guy. Our front row, also Jeffrey Elliott. I've seen him around, and I know he's very competitive as well. So we got a great field here, and Rich, the pace car, is in turn number 4, about ready to duck on down. We'll give you the call here for the green flag.
Yeah, most definitely. That pace car's lights are out. He just pulls off the track, and we got a single file line of 34 cars getting ready to take the green flag at this flag stand, and we are about to get this thing underway. As the green flag flies, we are now green flag racing. Good jump. The top 3 cars get a little bit of distance on the 4th car. Todd, they're going into turn 1.
Jeffrey Elliott maintains his lead going into number 1 with Julian Wilson right there in that 2nd spot. Darrell Pace still running 3rd. Looks like they have a little bit of distance between the 4th place car right now as they are single file going down the back straightaway.
Top 6, 7 cars single file. The top 5 cars have broken away as they head through turn number 3. Here working on the 5th circuit of the evening. Jeffrey Elliott, the 56, is your leader. Julian Wilson, the 029. He's down low. He's running 2nd. He's under fire from the 47. Darrell Pace, he's looking up high off of turn 4.
Pace sets him up real nicely here at the flag stand, going to the outside, trying to make that run. Draft is really going to play in, especially going into turn 1. Lift point is usually that 1st or 2nd light marker. They kind of use it like a brake marker going into turn 1, and Pace did a nice job there going to the outside, set the pace up, staying in Jeffrey Elliott's draft, and now they go nose to tail down the back straightaway.
So Jeffrey Elliott, he's got the point. We roll into turn number 3. Darrell Pace, he's currently shown as your second place car. The leaderboard will reset here as we get back toward the start-finish line. We'll put lap 7 up on the leaderboard. Julian Wilson, the 029, he's currently showed your third spot. Charles Copeland, Starman, the 93. In the top 5, we rounded out by Michael Blake, the 81, as they're rolling back toward turn 1.
Indeed, rolling back towards turn 1, it looks like Darrell Pace is starting to run down. Your leader, Jeffrey Elliott, he's now within a car length, 2 car lengths of your current race leader. You're going to have to see if Darrell Pace can pull that outside maneuver on the number 56 of Jeffrey Elliott as we go into 3.
Jeffrey's really nice, low, steady line. He likes to run the middle and outside a lot, so Pace is probably going to have to go again to the outside. He here looks to the outside in the draft, ducks back in line. This is the time where you want to ride a little bit. You know you've got a caution coming up in just a couple of laps for Brian and at lap 10. So you don't really want to push the issue a little bit. You want to let it ride, but you also want to see what your car's got in the early going.
Yeah, they're single file probably throughout the top 20 as we're working here on the 8th circuit. Your leader still the 56, Jeffrey Elliott. He's got a 0.14 second lead. The 47 of Darrell Pace. Darrell keeps peaking it up high, looking for that high groove to come in. Sure, we're going to see here this evening as looks like Darrell may have had a run for the lead.
Yeah, Darrell Pace made a run for the lead, and he has the lead now in that number 47 machine. He went low. Here comes I believe that's the 029 of Julian Wilson. He's going to move into that second spot, put Jeffrey Elliott to third.
Great couple of passes here in the early going, just kind of settling in, finding a run. You've also got the 93 Starman, Charles Copeland, hanging on in that 4th spot, just kind of settling in through turns 3 and 4 here at this fabulous 2-mile Michigan International Superspeedway.
Yeah, they've absolutely strung out all over the speedway. Grooves running up in the high lane and the low lane. I'm bruising around the speedway here. Top 5 cars all within 1 second here as we work through into the 10th circuit. The 47, Darrell Pace, he's still your race leader. Julian Wilson, the L29, they're all stepped in tow there, and the yellow flag is out.
As they take the yellow flag, the leaders are going to come around the track and take onto this yellow flag. Pace car should be coming out on the track. And this is actually a competition caution, you might call it, but we are paying homage to Brian Freeman. DRTV has put together a nice little tribute video, and we'll have a moment of silence to kick this video off. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, race fans, to DRTV Live, as these cars all made a pit stop in tribute to Brian Freeman under this competition yellow. We appreciate everything everybody is doing out here tonight, and we are certainly grateful for putting on this event for Brian Freeman tonight and all these guys that are friends and competitors of him out on this track. I couldn't say much more, guys. What do you think?
Brian was a great competitor, and he was one of those guys where you knew you could race around him. You could run high, low, middle, 3 wide, 4 wide even at Talladega and Daytona. He was always consistent the way he drove, and he was just a great gentleman off the track and always laughing and joking at Afterburner Motorsports, where I was a longtime admin for many years. Brian was a unique individual, and I certainly wish Todd could have been here tonight, but it was my honor to drive Brian's car.
10-4, well, we hear that, and we certainly appreciate it. Just want to give another shout-out as we get ready to get this race underway. Towards the end, we should be pretty much race on till the end of the night tonight now. Give a shout-out to all our viewers on YouTube. The chat box is open. We are monitoring that. And at any time during the race, if you guys have something on the chat box you want to shout out or whatever, be more than happy to post that up there, and we'll make sure we get the word out to your drivers. And hope you guys have a good show tonight.
Well, during the caution here, guys, pit stops underway. Jeffrey Elliott, the 56, came in the third, holds on to the third spot. Your top 3 and 4 remain the same, so it is still Pace, KJ, Julian Wilson in the second spot, Jeffrey Elliott, and Starman, Charles Copeland. Your top 4 remains the same, all of them taking 4 tires and fuel.
Eric, great work there down on pit road covering the pit stops. Well, we got a minute here in the booth. We're riding around under the yellow. We tried to get a hold of our outside pole sitter here before, and I know he's out there running in the top 3. So let's see if we can't get a hold of Jeffrey Elliott in the 56 this time around, and see if we can't get him. Jeffrey Elliott, this is Phil, Todd, Rich, and Eric up in the booth. You have a copy, my friend.
10-4 there, good buddy. How you doing?
We're doing great. Good to connect with you this time. We tried you there during happy hour. I think you had stepped away. Great field of cars here tonight, and you rolled off there taking the initial green flag on the pole. So tell me about your run so far. How's your car?
Well, so far it's a pretty good setup I got, and sticking to the track pretty good, and just kind of saving my tires and taking it easy right now.
Yeah, well, we have a great field here. We're here for a great cause tonight, honoring our friend Brian Freeman here, who's a member at Afterburner Motorsports, and we know through doing our research that you know Brian real well. Do you have anything you can say nice about Brian, memories and whatnot, stuff you've been around with?
I've raced with Brian Freeman probably for about 8 years, and he's one of my dear friends on the racetrack, and he's a heck of a guy off the track and on the track, and he's fun to race with, and an awesome person.
10-4, we keep hearing great kind words here about Brian Freeman. We're very honored to be honoring his memory here tonight as part of DRTV's broadcast of the Brian Freeman Memorial. Jeffrey, a lot of race here left to go. I mean, are you going to try to stay at the front and charge this thing, or you're going to lay back and try to keep the fenders on? I mean, can you go green to checker from here? I mean, you're going to make another pit stop on the way through?
It depends on circumstances, but there's some really tough competition up front and behind me, so just going to see how this 56 Toyota goes, and just try to stay out of trouble for a while.
Yeah, it's a beautifully prepared number 56 car. Jeffrey, thanks for a couple of words, and good luck the rest of the evening. We'll hope to catch up with you here down the line.
Thank you so much.
All right, it's Jeffrey Elliott, the 56 car. It's going to roll off, I think, a third starting position, Todd, and I'll let you reset the field.
Yeah, resetting the field right now. Your current race leader is the 47 of Darrell Pace. Julian Wilson sits second. Jeffrey Elliott, who we just interviewed, is in that third spot. Starman, the number 93, is sitting fourth. Fifth right now is the 81. That's our in-race reporter. That's Michael Blake. Seventh would be the number 52. Or sixth would be the number 52. Seventh would be the number 16 of Skip. Eighth would be the 15 of Scott. Ninth would be the 67 of Steve Little. And 10th would be the 09 of Lamb.
All right, well, that's one to go here on the pace car as it rolls through turns number 3 and 4. Looks like we're going to roll up on the 15th lap as we're coming back to the green flag. As you said, 47 Darrell Pace. He's your race leader. The 029 of Julian Wilson. He's going to be your outside car here. Single fire restarts here tonight for the Brian Freeman Memorial. 60 lap event, so we're looking at 45 laps to go here. Pace car is hit pit road, and Eric, we're getting ready to take green.
Green flag back out here. Good start here for your top 3, pulling away from Starman just a little bit. Jeffrey Elliott puts about a car length and a half gap here. Top 5 pull away from 6th on back. And good spacing here on the restart. Very early, don't really want to push too hard.
No, absolutely, guys have all strung ahead. The field works off turn 2. Mainly single fire here through the majority of the top 10. Guys just getting the heat on their tires. Let them get warmed up before they start attacking it. And Todd, they're single file here. They roll through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, Daryl Pace continues to be your leader out of 4 here with Julian Wilson right there in second. Looks like Jeffrey Elliott starting to get some sniffs of that draft to get up closer to that 029 of Julian Wilson. He may make a pass going into 1.
Elliott likes to run the high side. It helps him stay a little bit tighter, it seems, when he takes his entry. And so as they come down the back straightaway, Elliott looks to the inside of KJ.
Elliott down on the inside. He'll make that move stick. That will put him up in the position number 2. They work their way through turns 3 and 4 here, looking at putting on lap 17 on the board. Daryl Pace still showed as your race leader as the field will recycle here through the start-finish line. Julian Wilson, the 029, he's currently your second-place car. Jeffrey Elliott, the 56. Starman Charles Copeland, 93, and Michael Blake, top 5, all in tow.
Yeah, the number 56 just got around Julian Wilson for that second spot, but Starman and Michael Blake, our in-race reporter, now have caught these second and third place running cars. They're going to start mixing it up here.
Anytime that you try to make a pass along a long straightaway like here at Michigan, you're going to disrupt a little bit of air, and with the pass of Elliott around KJ, disrupted the air and allowed the back marker from about 2 or 3 car lengths back to pull up on their back bumpers. So they leaders of Pace and Elliott pulling away a little bit now, as now 3rd and 4th and 5th now have a 3-way battle.
Absolutely, through turns 1 and 2, the 81 of the 5th place car, it's Michael Blake. He was looking down low underneath Starman in the 93. He'll have to fall back in line, but the offense now goes to Starman in the 93. He'll work the inside line down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. He's going to go by the 029 of Julian Wilson. So put the 93 car up in the 3rd spot as we come off turn 4.
At 93 is now in 3rd is Starman. 4th right now is Julian Wilson. He's trying to get back into that 3rd spot. He's going to tuck right up underneath the bumper of the number 93 of Starman. Looks like he may make a move. Nope, he's going to stay in line through 1.
Single file as they work off turn number 2. Daryl Pace, the 47, still going to set the command. He's got the toe of the field here as they work down the back straightaway. Looking through the field here, top 8 cars under 2 seconds. Guys all still just minding their P's and Q's, letting the tires work in, just getting their laps and their seat time underneath them. We're still single file, Eric, as we head down off of turn 4.
Absolutely. Let's take a look a little bit deeper in the field. The 0 car of Keith McAllister, Jarek, he likes to start a little bit deeper in the field, but that 0 car currently running in the 17th spot. Now back to 18th, though. Good battle in the middle of the pack, but they are starting to race a little bit harder, trying to get back towards the front here. So up front, they're content to ride. In the back, it's starting to get a little interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I've also been looking back through the field. You had the great race on the speedway there through in about the 16th position, I believe we saw Jarek in there. Back at the front of the field, all still in tow. Daryl Pace, your race leader. Front 4, all single file. Now the race is for 4th. Michael Blake in the 81. He's going to pull out a line as they head toward turn 1. Looking on the inside of the 029 of Julian Wilson. He'll fall back in line. And now the battle is going to turn for 3rd as they head off of turn 2.
Yeah, battle looks like it's going to be for that 3rd spot right now, but also looks like the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott has pulled right up to the rear bumper of Daryl Pace. Maybe going to be able to pull a slingshot maneuver. He looked high there momentarily. Maybe he's just testing the waters out there against the number 47 of Daryl Pace.
You heard him in that interview earlier. He said he was kind of minding his tires. This is where Jeffrey likes to kind of push a little bit, see what he's got after saving his tires. Pace really kind of did set the pace, pardon the pun, up front earlier, as now Elliott looks for the lead into turn 1.
Yeah, he's found running room down low. He'll get that low line. Looks like he's going to make the pass stick through 1 and 2. Jeffrey Elliott, the 56 car, he's going to look like pulling the race lead now with 47, Daryl Pace. He'll pull side by side, wheel to wheel down the back straightaway, Todd, as they work into turn 3.
Yeah, momentarily, their door handle to door handle. Daryl Pace is going to drift way up the track. Looks like that's going to leave some more breathing room for that number 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. He's going to take over that 1st spot by battle for 2nd now between Jeffrey Elliott, or between Daryl Pace and Starman. Starman's down on the inside.
He's going to work that low lane as they head toward turn number 1. Looks like he's going to drive it in nice and deep. Daryl gives plenty of room. Looks like Starman may get that 2nd spot, but no, Daryl on the outside. Outside lane is really starting to come in here. Daryl and Starman, they're side by side, Eric, as they head toward turn 3.
Absolutely. The outside line coming off of turn 2 seems to keep the car fairly settled. If you're down on the inside, car wants to step out on you a little bit. So Pace kind of in that good spot on the outside, but Starman able to pull the pass off, and now it looks like, I believe that may be KJ going to the inside here in a battle for third. Excuse me, actually that's Michael Blake, I believe.
Yeah, it's Michael Blake, the 81. He's going to pull alongside as they head to turn number 1 and 2. Daryl Pace up high, the 47. That's the race for third. We're working around the speedway on the east end. Daryl's going to get that whole shot up the high lane there. They're going to drag race down the back straightaways. They head toward turn 3. Put the 47. Daryl Pace, he's going to make that pass. The battle, Todd, is for the lead in turn 3.
Yeah, Starman dives to the inside of the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. Looks like he's going to make a slide on Elliott. Elliott's trying to do a high-low switch, but it looks like he's going to settle back into that second spot. New race leader, the number 93 of Starman.
So Charles Copeland, the driver known as Starman, the 93, he's going to be shown as your race leader. 25 laps put up on the scoreboard last time by. The top 7 cars all within 1 second of each other. To reset that top 7 look like they're single file. Starman is your race leader. The 56 of Jeffrey Elliott, he's going to run your second spot. Daryl Pace, the 47. Michael Blake, the 81. And skipping the 16, newcomer in the top 5, he'll run 5th. Julian Wilson, the 29. We've seen him in the front. He's currently running 6th. The 15 car of Sky, he's also in that lead pack running 7th. Jeff Trutzman, the 52, 8th. Hammer God, the 89, he's running 9th. And your top 10 is Jed in the 137 running at your field. Top 10 cars separated by 1.3 seconds as they work into turn 1 up their front.
Don't forget to, if you're watching live right now, you can go on the YouTube channel and join the chat box. I'm sure we've got a couple of comments on there, so maybe we'll check in with Rich, see if we've got anything over there shortly. But don't forget to post something if you'd like us to answer a question for you, or if you'd like to have us ask a question of our in-race reporter, Michael Blake, currently running 4th at the next available moment. We'll be more than happy to do that.
It's funny you mentioned Michael Blake. He's looking for that 3rd position as they work down into the east end of the speedway. He's on the low end, down low under the 47 of Daryl Pace. Daryl really liking that high line tonight. He's going to wash up a little higher out of that groove, and we're going to move the 81 of Michael Blake, our in-race reporter. He's going to go up to 3rd. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, as they work on the back straightaway, all's well, Starman in the race lead, Jeffrey Elliott. But that race for 3rd is on again, Todd, as they head toward turn 3.
Yeah, Daryl Pace in that number 47 pulled a high-low switch maneuver. He's back down to the inside. A little bit different groove than what he's been running. He's down on the inside. It's got to be hard to run down on the inside as the setup's going to be just a little looser down there, and it's going to not be as easy to run up as it is up high.
Got to give a good shout out to that Tennessee Vols car. It's about the only winning Tennessee program you'll see out on the racetrack. Scott Musgrove currently running in the 7th spot, but a nice run through the field for that 15 team.
Looks like we may have just had a race for the lead, a lead change. Looks like 56 of Jeffrey Elliott may have made the pass by. They're still side by side, switching around off of turn 4, Todd.
Yeah, still continuing to be side by side as they come down that front straightaway. Jeffrey Elliott down there on the bottom side, Starman outside. They're still side by side going into 1.
Side by side now, 2 rows deep. Top 5 cars all in a nice draft, all right together. 3 rows deep as the 15 of Scott Hill look on the inside. That's the battle for 5th. The top 6, 7, 8 cars all thrown under a blanket, Eric, as they head toward turn 3.
2 by 2 by 2 down the back straightaway they come. Starman still a half car length in front of Jeffrey Elliott. Pace now settles in the 3rd with Michael Blake back to 4th, but still door handle to door handle off of turn 4.
Jeffrey Elliott continues to be your leader now. Here comes the 47 of Daryl Pace. He's on the outside of the number 93 of Starman as they were side by side momentarily. Here comes the 81. That's our in-race reporter. He's going to move into 3rd.
Starman got a little loose there on the low side. He's going to get drop kicked from the lead all the way back to the 4th position. Looks like the top 5 cars are all going to ride at single file. A lot of jockeying for position here. 30 laps. We're halfway through this Brian Freeman Memorial here on DRTV of Afterburner Motorsports. Working off turn number 4, we're going to see 31 laps on the scoreboard. Your halfway leader, the 56 car of Jeffrey Elliott. Second place Starman, the 93. Daryl Pace, the 47. Michael Blake, the 81. And the 16 car of Skip. There's your top 5, Eric. They're headed toward the east end into turn 1.
And a couple of positions have swapped even on that lap. Pace now settles in the 2nd spot. Blake 3rd. Starman back to 4th. And currently in that 5th spot. Believe that is that 16 car of Skip Strimlin.
6th spot, Julian Wilson here also in this lead pack. The 15 car of Scott is 7th. And rounding out that lead pack of top 8 broke away is the 52 of Jeff Prutzman. Top 8 cars all strung out all around. And it looks like, Todd, as we head toward turn 1, there may be a race for second. It looks like the 81 car has gone racing.
Yeah, the 47 of Darrell Pace has that second spot, but the number 81 of Michael Blake wants it. But here comes the 47. He's running outside, and he looked like he was going to peek to the outside of the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott there momentarily. He's going on offense and defense. That's got to be hard to play.
Oh, absolutely going to be hard to play. And meanwhile, at the front there, Jeffrey Elliott, he's going to be looking in his mirror with a big smile on his face, watching these guys jockeying for position. I can't believe none of these guys have gaggled up. As we look here, Eric off of turn 4, a pass here within the top 5. Julian in the 029, he's taken that 5th position from Skip.
Absolutely. Julian kind of settled back into the top 5, top 6. He slid back a little bit, trying to run back down the front of the field. Starman, the top 4 now, make it top 5. You can throw a blanket over him down the back straightaway, Todd.
Yeah, Jeffrey Elliott still continues to be their leader. Darrell Pace is sitting in that second spot. Looks like the 81 of Michael Blake has settled for third right now. The 93 had some momentum. He's going to lose some. Starman. Here comes the number 029 of Julian Wilson. He's down to the inside of Starman, and there's a battle for that second spot now.
Yeah, racing all within the top 3, 5 cars, all in that battle up near the front of the field. Jeffrey Elliott still shown as a race leader, and Eric, as they roll through turns 1 and 2, looks like there's a 3-car battle for second as they come off the corner.
Great battle off at turn 2. Just a quick heads up, Manny Diaz on a pit road in that 710 car, making a stop for 4 tires and fuel. 4 Goodyears bolted on, and it looks like he may have some damage on pit road.
Tough break there for the 710. Up near the front of the field, looks like Jeffrey Elliott, he's still holding on to your race lead. The race has been for second. We'll let it cycle through here back to start-finish line. We're going to put lap 35 up on the scoreboard. Darrell Pace in the 47. He was coming by. Shono, now he's going to be drop-kicked. Have to reset here for top 5. Fast and Furious here. Jeffrey Elliott, the 56. Michael Blake, the 81. He's showed up down in the second position. And Todd, that assault for third from the 029 and continues as they work down the back straightaway.
Yeah, the 029 takes over that third spot. The 81 falls back into third. The 029 is actually currently running second. Fourth right now would be Darrell Pace. As we were talking, Darrell Pace slid way up high, almost hit that wall. That's why he lost all that momentum in all them spots.
Looks like we're at the beginning of green flag pit stops. The 710 Manny Diaz started the charge. Also in the 16 of Skip. He was currently up in your top 5. He's also hit pit road. So Eric, I think the pit road window may be open here, and we have to keep a lookout here for these leaders here as we're winding down to about 25 laps to go in the event. How much longer can they go till they hit pit road?
Well, absolutely. Your pit window is 23 to 25 laps, and now running up on that lap mark, now you know that you can make one pit stop and make it the rest of the way if you can stretch it out. Green flag pit stops for those that didn't pit during the lap 10 caution underway now, so a lot of guys taking 4 tires and fuel.
Yeah, I can't imagine these leaders have to have a lot of fuel left in them, as I think the majority of them may have stayed out on that. Looking through, I think half have come off and half did stay out. So back at the front of the field here, the 029 Julian Wilson, he's assumed your race lead from the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. Michael Blake, the 81, the 47 of Darrell Pace, and Starman, the 93, he's running at your top 5.
And Rich has got a chat box. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, this is Rich here checking in with our chat box. Got a family member, Todd Freeman, out there enjoying this race tonight, watching this memorial for his brother. He's congratulating these drivers for putting on a good show. He's very proud of what they're doing out here. So let them drivers know down there that they got a lot of fans watching out tonight, and it's for a good cause. So thanks, Todd, for watching, and hope we do you justice, buddy.
No, we're in the middle of green flag pit stops here. I believe the majority of the top 5, maybe even most of the top 10 cars have all hit pit road. I see the 93, Charles Copeland, Starman's on pit road. 56, Jeffrey Elliott as well, have all come in. Looks like it'll be 4 tires. The 81, Michael Blake can join that. The 15 of Scott. All those cars are running inside the top 10. They're all in for 4 tires and fuel. They're going to hit off pit road. And guys, it's fast and furious here now, and it looks like there's still a majority of these guys who are going to have to hit pit road next time by.
Kind of an interesting smattering of different pit stop strategies, but the deeper you go into this run, the easier it is going to make it if they go green. Obviously, no extra laps or anything like that at Afterburner Motorsports. You don't have to worry about any overtime. But certainly a concern that if you were pitting maybe 2 or 3 laps ago, that you may not be able to make it the distance, depending on how fuel mileage was running for your automobile.
Looks like another 10 to 15 cars have hit pit road. The 029 of Julian Wilson, the 52 Jeff Prutzman, and looks like we have a spinner on the inside of turn 2. That would be the 89 car.
Looks like we are going to stay clean and green, though. No yellow flag is going to fly. Now the yellow flag is going to fly. A little bit of delayed reaction on our flagger.
Yeah, I believe that yellow may be for the 89.
Jeffrey Elliott has gone around in turn 1 and 2. Jeffrey Elliott, the early leader, has gone around, and the yellow flag is out.
Great catch there, Eric, looking around the speedway, trying to find what that might have been for. There was still smoke from the 89 spinning out. Jeffrey Elliott trying to get that car righted. Looks like he may be down tires here from spinning around, and I'm sure Rich at the DRTV control will be able to find that and roll up the replay for us. But in the middle of green flag pit stops, hard to reset the field as guys are rolling on and off pit road. That last time by, your race leader was scored as the 6 of Jeff Bond. The yellow flag is out, rolling around lap 40 on the scoreboard, so we're going to be within 20 laps. So obviously pit strategy is going to go out the window here. Is you'll be able to pit from here and make it to the end. Maybe these guys who we could call it short pitting at the end of their window, rather, will stay out for the event. So Todd, looks like we're going to have a lot of fuel strategy here, maybe tire strategy as we get down to all the winning laps.
Yeah, it looks to be it's going to be a lot of different strategies, but the 6 was going down pit road of Jeff Bond. He was going down pit road when that yellow flag came out because he did assume the lead. He went down pit road. I watched him go straight through pit road. Hopefully he's not running out of gas as he can't go down pit road this time by. So he's got to be running on fumes in that number 6 machine. It looks like he was going to try to push it the distance and try to get some more fuel. That's the guy that we all were talking about that really plays these strategies to the T.
I'll tell you what, Jeff Bond is one of those guys that I learned a lot about fuel conservation at bigger tracks like this. In fact, he and I usually end up in the back when I race, and we end up, in most cases, running in the back, and a yellow flag ruins that fuel mileage. So that's the drawback to running that strategy a lot of times, is simply because that caution, you just never know if there's going to be an untimely one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe Rich is down in the DRTV control center here. Rich, you got the replay?
Yeah, most definitely. As I get this up on the screen today, looks like the car we're going to watch here is the 52. The 52 actually is coming back on the track after pits, it looks like. Down on the apron, gets a little loose, and that just kind of gets the whole field messed up, gets it loose, slides it up on the track, and here come the leaders or the other cars. Everybody scrambles to get away from him. Looks like the 029, I think it was, just caught into his side, and of course that's going to get others around him. The spin that you saw with our competitive driver earlier, our race leader earlier, was basically trying to avoid the melee. Looks like a couple cars got pinned up, a couple cars got scattered out on the track. I'm not sure too much about the damage. We're going to have to see how this pans out as the race gets going. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Rich, there with the replay. Contact on the speedway put us under yellow. And Eric, I'm looking at pit road. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if any of these guys duck on down. We know Jeff Bond of the 6, he's going to have to come to pit road to get fuel. But it'd be really interesting to see what the strategy is for these guys who may be up near the front of the field is going forward.
As loose as these cars are early on under green, they tighten up almost too much at the end of the run because you're starting to lose so much grip from the tire with the track setting. So in this situation, the best thing to do is maybe come down and grab some fresh rubber. But it looks like most of the top 5, 10, 15, maybe top 20 are going to stay out here after having just been on pit road during the green flag pit stops.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of guys have found the pit road. And so riding right under the yellow flag here, we're here at Afterburner Motorsports tonight for the Brian Freeman Memorial. Trying to get a word with some of these drivers. They roll out under yellow. And one guy we're going to get a look at right now, the 63 car, Eric Sullivan. He's been riding around the top 20, so let's see if we can't get a word with him. Eric, it's Rich, Todd, Phil, and Eric in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir. Got you loud and clear.
Eric having a great run out there tonight, rolling around about the 20th, 21st spot, trying to keep your stuff out of trouble. I mean, what's the running out there like?
Well, it ain't too bad. It's a little slick, but, the Eagle 1 Ford here is running good. But this race is for Brian Freeman. He was a great guy.
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of great stories here, guys reminiscing about their time with Brian. It absolutely sounds like a true gentleman here, and a lot of fond memories. I mean, anything stick out about your time with him? I mean, I'm sure it was so brief. How many years did you race with him, and how far did your experience go with Brian?
Well, we started racing together like in '05. We run 4 or 5 seasons. Then that league broke up when we went into another league and run, and then I kind of took a break off of racing and actually came out of retirement just to run this race for him.
Yeah, that's a fabulous story for you to come out tonight, come out of retirement. Always great to see guys like you come out here and to celebrate a friend. And any strategy here going forward? Are you going to try to run for the front here and get a good finish, or are you going to ride around and keep your car? What's your strategy going forward?
Try to stay out of trouble and just keep defenders on it.
Absolute 10-4. Well, Eric Sullivan, that's your 63 car. Thanks for a few words, and good luck the rest of the event. Thanks for taking a few minutes with us.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right. That's Eric Sullivan, the 63. And, Eric, you were looking at guys rolling on off pit road. You got a report from some stuff might have happened down there?
Yeah, Charles Copeland, looks like the 93 may have gotten a speeding penalty, had to drop to the end of the longest line. That's a heartbreaker for Starman, who was running a top 5 for quite the early going.
Yeah, absolutely. So we roll around under the yellow flag. We'll see if we can't get the field reset for you. Looks like the 81 of Michael Blake, our in-race reporter. He's up there currently shown as a race leader, showing lap 44 on the scoreboard. And Rich, sure hot and heavy down there at the controls in the chat box. Anything good coming out your way that we can maybe pass along?
Yeah, 10-4. We got fans watching and cheering on their drivers. I got a post from Kerry Roberts. Good racing and good luck watching live from down under Australia. Supporting number 7, Bobby, and number 5 of Stanley. So shout out to the 05 and the 07. Along that same coverage, we also got Chuck Copeland racing for his dad, Starman. So a lot of fans out there keeping up with what we're doing, and glad they're watching the show live, rooting for their drivers. Back to you guys.
All right, so we're rolling around. We're going to put 45 laps up as we head back toward the start-finish line this time by. Lights are still on the pace car. And so there'll be 15 laps left of the event. And Todd, looking back through this field, a lot of jumbled up names here. We see some new names toward the latter part of the top 10.
Yeah, a lot of them got caught on their pit strategies. As you see, if you look behind the pace car, the 47 of Darrell Pace, he's actually on the tail end of the lead lap. So you got 5, 6, you probably got a good 12 cars that are on the tail end of this lead lap. It looks like they're going to take a drive around and get back to the back end of the pack there. Yeah, Pace is actually the lucky dog. He's going to get his lap back. He's going to end up, should be 10th with the number 47 of Darrell Pace. Actually, a lot of these guys are taking the wave around. They were on the tail end of the lead lap. Now they're going to be right behind your leaders. Your leader right now is the 81 of Michael Blake. So it's going to be interesting to see what these guys are going to do coming back up through the field here.
If my math is correct, looking at the wave around, I think we had 12 cars take that wave around. May show us 21 cars, just a guesstimate there. That will be shown on the lead lap here. A couple more cars now as we speak take the wave around. So coming down the back straightaway, lights are out on the pace car. Looks like we may get the pace car lights are out. I know one is around on the restart here, so we'll keep an eye on that, see if we get that righted. The reset with top 5, Michael Blake is your race leader in the 81. The 029 of Julian Wilson. Scott in the 15 is currently 3rd. New name at the front here, Chris Elliott in the 9. He's currently your 4th place car. And Lamb in the 09, he's currently 5th. Lights are still out on the pace car. Looks like everybody's had that right around the speedway. And looks like we're going to prepare for a green flag. Be 15 laps left in the event. So, Eric, we're in the latter stages here, headed toward the checker. And looks like we're in for a great finish. Pace car's headed to pit road.
Fresh set of rubber, 15 laps to go. This is what it's all about. You got to get it done. This is the time to charge. You rode for the first 45 laps. Now it's a 15-lap shootout. Green flag is out.
Michael Blake has your initial lead going into 1 with Julian Wilson right there in that 2nd spot. 3rd would be the number 15 of Scott, but actually 3rd on that speedway right now is the 56 of Elliott, he right now is a lap down to your race leaders. Tough break for him as he was up front.
Yeah, he was
all
up
race
front.
long.
Currently showed in that 24th position as guys trying to charge up from that one lap down, trying to hurt it back the hard way. But in front of the field, 81 of Michael Blake, the 029 of Julian Wilson, your top two. Looks like the battle here may be for third. It looks like it may have a spinner off of turn 4. Looks
This
like
is
that
the
might have
position
been
that
a 56.
Jeffrey Elliott. Well, the Jeffrey Elliott's still running out third on the racetrack. He is in the lucky dog spot. If that brings out a yellow flag, it would give him the lucky dog and get back into the fight.
Yes, absolutely. Top two cars that broke away, 81 of Blake, the 29 of Wilson. That's your top two. Green flag, still on the speedway. Everybody seemed to have got that righted. We're looking at lap 47. We'll click off 48 as the race leaders work their way, Todd, off of turn number 4.
Yeah, your race leaders are starting to pull away from third, fourth, and fifth place as they almost got a 2-second advantage over Scott and Elliott. Michael Blake and Julian Wilson trying to pull away and run away and hide.
Yeah, it looks like they're separated by the top two, separated by 3 lap cars back to third. It's 2.1 seconds now back to that third place car. Currently the 9 of Chris Elliott. Scott in the 15 running fourth. Jeff Bond in the 6. He's worked his way up into the 5th spot. He's just a little off of them top 4 guys. Top 2 cars are broken away. We'll call 3 seconds. So the race is amongst the top 3 here as they're working on the back straightaway. 1.5 more laps to go.
Elliott makes his move down the back straightaway. Will go door to door, but can he get it done? No, he's got to duck back in line. Phil, this is a great way to end this Brian Freeman Memorial. Coming to the white flag.
Yeah, white flag in the air somewhere upstairs. I'm sure Brian Freeman is looking down with a smile on his face. Proud of the great race these guys in the front are putting on. One more circuit. White flag in the air. Julian Wilson, the 029, your race leader. He's got the help from the 56. He's going to work that draft into turn number 1. The race is for second. Michael Blake, the 81. Chris Elliott in the 9. They're right there. They can't make any headwind, Todd, as they head down the back straightaway for the final time.
Yeah, definitely not making any headwind. Here comes the number 9, battle for the second position. Here comes Chris Elliott. He wants it. The 81 has it. They're side by side coming through 3 and 4 as it looks like Julian Wilson's going to pull it off, but here comes the number 9 of Chris Elliott down to the inside. He's going to take over that second spot out of the last turn.
Julian Wilson will take down the win as they head off through the start-finish line. He'll win the Brian Freeman Memorial here at Afterburner Motorsports on DRTV. The 9-car Chris Elliott, he's going to slot into second. Michael Blake third. Looks like we'll score Skip in the 16, fourth, and Jarek in the 0. That's your top 5.
Told you that Jarek was working his way through the field earlier. What a great finish for Jarek, for Keith McAllister of that 0 car, the Mobile 1 Chevy, ending up in 5th spot, starting deep in the field. About 10 laps in, he was running 22nd. So just that just shows right there that you got to be patient in order to finish well early in the going. This is a long race at 2 Mile Super Speedway.
Going to reset your order, and hopefully this is the official race standings as they're getting ready. Now they're official. Julian Wilson, your race winner. In that 029, the number 9 of Chris Elliott's going to finish second. Third is going to be the 81 of Michael Blake. Fourth will be the number 16 of Skip. Fifth will be the 0 car of Jarek. Sixth is the number 15 of Scott. Seventh will be the number 6 of Jeff Bond. Eighth, the 47 of Daryl Pace. Ninth, the 89 of Tracy Anders. 10th will be the 05 of Stanley. 11th, the 137 of Jed 111. 12th will be the 26 of Jimmer.
13th will be Jason Hornig Hammergod in the 88 car. Kevin Roy, the 77 and 14th. 15th position, the 94 of Mike W. Dan Rindall, the 37 and 16th. Ray Hulick in the 18 will finish 17th. Steve Little in the 67 will finish 18th. Mike Fisher in the 40 Walmart Ford Mustang will finish in the 19th. And Dwight York in the 20th spot in the 87 car.
All right, guys. Great run there. Great race tonight by Julian Wilson. We'll see if we can't get a word with our top 3 finishers here this evening. The Brian Freeman Memorial, what a great race going on. Let's see if we can't get the 81. Michael Blake, our in-race reporter. Michael Blake, it's Richfield, Todd, and Eric up in the booth. You got a copy?
How you doing, guys?
Oh, fantastic. Great race, my friend. Bringing the 81 car home third. You almost were able to pull it up front there. Tell us about them closing laps. That was exciting.
Yeah, I set off a bit quick and used my stuff up, which is a bit silly. I didn't realise the car that was directly behind me and that passed me at first was a lap down. I thought he was racing for position, so I ran it a bit harder than I should have done and used my stuff up a bit. There was a bit of confusion there under the caution. I was sitting there behind the pace car and it was telling me to go around it and line up at the tail end of the line, so I went around and it sort of separated the field a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a great race. Congrats to the 029 and I hope we put on a good show for Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. A great racer on the Speedway. Anybody you'd like to thank here while we got you up in the booth?
Ray for putting this on. You guys for broadcasting. The 029 and 9 for racing hard and clean. And so just hope we done Brian proud.
I think you did, Michael. Great race, mate. Just wonderful drive.
Thank you.
All right, that's Michael Blake. He's your third place finisher tonight. Let's see if we can't get away with our second place guy, Chris Elliott in the 9. Todd, you got our second place driver?
Yeah, I'm definitely down here with our second place driver, number 9, Chris Elliott. Elliott, it looked like the closing laps you were sitting there in third, and looked like you started dicing it up for that second spot. Tell us about what you seen up front.
Well, first of all, I got to say, what a great race, and thanks you guys for airing this thing. It was awesome race for everybody. Yeah, it was awesome. I was just taking my time. I didn't realize the laps were ticking down quickly, and it was time to make a move, but I was a little bit too late, and I was being extra cautious. And I'm real happy to get to second place tonight. It was a good run for me.
Phenomenal race out there. Go ahead,
Sorry about that, but Chris, you always find yourself up front towards the end of these races, and you had to like seeing the two leaders, first and second, battling side by side there for a while. You're able to kind of reel them in the later stages there.
That's for sure. That definitely helped. I think that's why